Yeah, it was a great place to be.
I think those are great training grounds for chefs.
Yeah,
that's where you met him.
yeah.
Got you. All right, so we're going to do the kind of a Pulp Fiction thing. We're going to go to you. This is the first time we've had two chefs on, you know? So, go ahead.
Just in the back.
We got some restaurant construction going on right now.
It's like, did you say, where do you want that hole?
Where do you want the mole? Is that what it said? All right, chef.
Yep.
Now we're going to take it all the way back with you.
Yeah.
Where are we at? Where'd you grow up? Where were you born?
So I was born right outside of Vallejo, California.
Okay.
And technically, we moved to the suburbs of Vacaville.
Okay.
And that's where I grew up.
Right. And then
not much in that town.
Yeah, I hear you, man. It's a cow town for sure. What did your parents do?
Dad was self-employed. He owned a gas station, and then got into a cab company.
Okay.
Or a cab company first, then a gas station. The gas station, he got into towing. Then that's how he started a company, a towing company, and so we're
I didn't know. Yeah. I didn't know gas stations were so versatile.
Yeah, well, it had like a little area next to it where you could fix cars.
Yeah. Okay.
And my grandfather owned a budget rent-a-car.
Oh, really?
Right outside of the Air Force Base.
Heard that.
The GIs, when they would come from overseas, they wouldn't have their cars, so he rented them cars.
That's a good businessman right there.
Yeah.
So you were in a very business-centered home.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Did you sort of have interest in doing kind of business things, or were you like, eh?
I mean, towing is a 24/7, 365.
Yeah, for sure.
Rain, sleet, or snow type situations.
Yeah.
So, my dad was working a ton, and I for the first beginning part of my life, didn't really see him too much.
Gotcha.
He'd come home in the middle of the night. He would have to leave. Somebody stuck in the mud, or car spun out, or something like that. So, he wasn't there. He wasn't there a ton. My mom was eventually started working with my dad, like bookkeeping and stuff like that. My mom was a nurse. She's from Marmaduke, Arkansas, which is like tiny. I think they had like 215 people. There.
Wow.
And so she ended up pretty much working full time for my dad. So kind of had to do my own thing.
Yeah.
So
You were cooking for yourself at home. Cooking eggs and shit like that.
Just as soon as just kind of getting into it, cooking for my mom.
Yeah.
Just my mom and me.
Okay.
And then cooking for my dad.
Yeah.
Learning how a crock pot works.
Yeah. So you sort of found a joy in it, and as I asked him, did you see this as a job, or were you like, I just like to do this?
I wanted to be a teacher or a police officer.
Okay.
That's kind of what I was into doing. I did a lot of volunteer work growing up, and so I had to pick one thing to volunteer every year that I could. So I started cooking at a retirement home.
Okay.
When I was 13, because I was homeschooled, with the best chef in town at the time. He worked like in San Francisco, like in the heyday,
gotcha.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
And so was doing that as volunteer work, and then kind of just getting. It was always a side job, and I never thought that fall into it. And kind of just tumbled into it, and worked at like the best restaurant in town, which is like a little bistro. But it was rugged, man.
Of course, yeah. That's why it's a pirate ship.
Yeah, we would. They would have pallets on the floors and put mats, and then on top of them,
be raised.
Yeah.
Be looking down.
It's not good. And I remember them dumping fire oil onto the or saute oil when they were done. Where the butter? Dump it on the floor, and they would just squeegee it all.
Oh, so then that's why they did the pallets. So
they would salt the floor. They would pull the pallets, pull the mats, pull the pallets, salt the floor.
Yeah,
and then just that's how they did it. I don't know why.
Did it take any longer or shorter? Now knowing what you know, was it any longer or shorter?
I was incredibly inefficient. I don't know who set that in the course.
It's like, all right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to throw some salt on the ground.
So that's what we do. And then junior high, worked in a Mongolian barbecue restaurant next to junior high.
Okay. So you probably make really good staff meal, it sounds like.
I do okay.
I
do okay.
A little
spicy. So did that, and then I wanted to be homeschooled because I had more fun cooking in the kitchen.
Yeah.
My mom, she was a nurse and a teacher, so she's like, all right, we'll homeschool you. and then graduated early, and then wanted to go to the police academy.
Yeah. So let's go back real quick. Homeschooling.
Yeah.
No contact with peers.
I mean, I have tons of friends.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, I had tons of friends. It was kind of hard because when we moved from Vallejo to Vacaville.
Yeah.
Vacaville's a military town in one part of it, so there's always constantly kids moving around and moving out.
So you meet a lot of different cultures.
Yeah, so it's like Cambodians, Laotians, Thai, French, Vietnamese, all sorts of kids. And they would come and they would be there for 2 years, and then their dad would get shipped off and their mom would get shipped off. And so I would eat Thai food in our neighbor's backyard.
Yeah.
And it was like a big thing for me, and I would come back and I would be like,
try to make it.
It's just crazy. Like fish sauce when you're like 12 is like, you've never had it. It's like a trip.
And then at this point you were out of high school?
Yeah, so graduated early, and my parents wanted to see me at the graduation at a school that I didn't go to, so I walked to get my diploma with a bunch of kids I'd never met.
Oh, really? They're like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah. I sat in between two people, and they were leaning over because they were friends, and they were talking.
That's weird. Yeah. I love kids though. That's super rude.
Community college, and I was going to get a criminal justice degree.
So you're going the cop route. You're like,
that was my mentality. But you're young, your mentality changes next week.
For sure.
And so,
what was that big moment that was like, fuck being a cop?
I mean, it's just not. I just didn't have the mentality, I think, for it. I like the structure.
Yeah.
Teaching or being a cop, there's a lot of structure in that, and you're constantly learning, showing, stuff like that. But I just think, for me at the time, I was like, I'd always been cooking, and I had the most fun cooking, so I just decided that that's what I was going to do.
Yeah. What was the first restaurant you chose to go to after you made your decision?
El Dorado Kitchen in Sonoma.
Okay.
In the square with Justin Everett.
Is that still around?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same chef?
No, a different chef.
Okay.
I don't know who the new chef is, but that was the first foray. He was an aubergine Bouchon vet.
Gotcha.
And we would do during the crush season, we'd do $350, $380 for dinner. And so it was a grind.
Yeah, for sure. Was it a la carte or tasting?
A la carte.
Okay.
There was a chef's tasting that I think it was at the time 4 courses plus.
Oh yeah, I remember.
It was like a gift, like a snack, 4 courses, a snack, and then a dessert.
Okay. Not too bad.
Yeah.
Did you work your way up to all the stations there?
Yeah, shucking oysters. So dishwashing, shucking oysters, garde the whole way. Work all the way up to entremetier, which was a crazy station. It's your poisson guy. He just cooks fish. You pick up the sets. Meat guy just cooks meat. You pick up the sets.
Yeah, you pick up both sets.
You pick
plus
up both
your
sets,
own sets.
plus your sets, plus pasta.
Yeah.
I had 65 9-pans.
Oh.
And so that was a grind.
Yeah. So you're showing up early, working off the clock to get yourself ready for service, for sure.
Yeah.
And then how long did you stay at this place?
El Dorado Kitchen was 2 years, 2.5 years.
2 years.
And then,
let me ask you this: what made you move to Sonoma?
I mean, it was,
or just because it was close and
we
wasn't
were
the
living
city?
in Vallejo. I was living in Vallejo at the time.
Got you. So easy commute. Okay.
Yeah.
But was your goal always to get to the city?
Yeah, I mean that was it.
Yeah.
And so the chef there, Justin, left and took over for Joe Humphrey at Cavallo Point.
Okay.
Because they both worked together at an Auberge property.
Heard that.
So I'd worked my way up. We had interim chef take over, but then I was also doing entremetier plus sous chef work, which I was too young to be a sous chef at that time. And the sous just left, and so went there, did Cavallo Point, and it was just not for me.
Heard that.
Yeah.
What was it that wasn't for you?
My mom got breast cancer, and so I shut down on the line. I had a weird moment where I was just
fuck this.
No, I was like 2 minutes late on a pickup, and like
shit's going. Yeah,
2 minutes turns into 4 into 6, and you just get backed up. And I was just having a really hard time. So I picked up. I just took over the lunch service. Just not quite for me. Too far of a commute.
Yeah.
Not making enough money to make sense, and so.
Gotcha. Was there any cooks there at the time that you felt like were cool enough to stay for, or that you would work with again, or were you just kind of like whatever?
And we were essentially like a new guard coming into an already existing guard. And,
gotcha.
So it's like, what are these Blue Apron guys?
Yeah.
It was like gang territory.
Yeah, for sure it is.
Yo, don't wear your Blue Apron.
Yeah. Don't wear your Blue Apron.
Wait, I'll get you with the Green Apron.
Yeah. Check your sauces. They might be sabotaged. You never know.
No, it wasn't like that, but it was like a thing of like a new guard.
Yeah, for sure. Oh man, that is rough.
We're still in the city.
I know. We're literally. This is the livest podcast I've ever done.
Nice.
There's sirens. Yeah. There's construction. 2 chefs. I don't think people are going to be able to handle this. So you leave this place in Sonoma, one step closer to the city.
Yeah.
Do you go to the city?
Yeah.
All right.
And so I decided Sons of Daughters was opening at the time, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna do it. Like the commute already is like there.
Yeah.
So I just decided to do it, and I remember staging for 1 or 2 nights. That's when, and it was like small and fun and.
Yeah.
Everybody was like super excited. And I was like staging and like I was like working a station.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It wasn't like
those are the funnest stages.
It's not like
what's the worst that
sit in the corner and watch service.
Yeah.
Like, you're like
for sure.
Hey, I'm gonna show you like Isaac was like, hey, I'm gonna show you the pickup and like all right, now that's your pickup. Just like now pick it up. So that was great.
That's where you met Chef Val.
Yeah, I mean we worked like 3 feet away from each other.
Gotcha. Did he stage with you his first day?
I mean, gosh, I don't remember exactly back then, but I'm sure I was there. Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. But that was fun, chaotic. Fun.
So you signed on, you were commuting. How long did you commute for?
I mean, I was driving from Vallejo. Sometimes, I mean, I couldn't take the ferry.
It's not the worst.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
That's like 30, 40 minutes, 45 minutes?
And I rented a room. And then, so then I rented a room, and like I was just taking the 38 bus down Geary, and literally just going to work, leaving, coming back.
Heard that.
Just grinding.
Did you, at that time, how long had you been there total?
I guess I spent almost a year there.
Gotcha.
And, yeah.
So you overlapped for most of that time, would you say?
I feel like it, yeah.
Yeah. And then once he left...
I left before Val.
You left before Val? Okay, got you.
Yeah, I got let go.
Oh,
yeah.
Straight fired.
Yeah, I mean... a little restructuring. It was less like...
Yeah.
Didn't get fired for a reason.
Yeah,
like
man, I get it.
Shrinking the team, yeah.
Shrinking the team, and like we were like expanding.
I mean, sometimes you look at 2 names and you're like, I really love both those guys, but I can only have one.
And at the time, Sweet Woodruff was opening like down the street, and there's a whole.
That's the best part about working in a restaurant in the city.
At the time, I was so sad.
Okay.
I was super pissed and super sad.
Yeah. Who got you out of that?
Got me out of what being sad?
Yourself? Did
I went back to my room, went across the street, ordered so much Japanese food that they gave me like 6 chopsticks.
Yeah.
6 pairs. And I was like just eating my feelings. And then I got a job working at Starbucks down the street. I needed to pay rent.
Yeah.
Right. And so they were like, do you have food experience? I was like, yeah. So I just was eating the sandwiches. I was like, this is only temporary.
Yeah.
And
the Turbo Chef.
Yeah.
That thing's awesome.
Yeah. So did that happen?
The Turbo Chef. You know what? To be honest with you, I've through working at casual restaurants, you work with a lot of young children coming out of high school, whatever, just young workforce, and the people that had come out of Starbucks are some of the most diligent people that I've ever seen. Nice. Like, they can work a line very well just because of the structure there.
Yeah.
So, shout out to Starbucks.
Yeah.
I had training our youth.
I had somebody at Destroyer. It's an amazing machine.
Yeah.
Starbucks drive-through.
Straight up.
I was like, you know how to expo? And he's like, yeah. I was like, take it over.
Yeah, he's like, I'll expo myself.
Yeah, exactly.
I got you.
Yep.
That's awesome. So, now we're gonna go back. This is some Pulp Fiction shit. Chef, you left Sons and Daughters. At this point, are you going to work somewhere else?